agree. Now that Devin, I don't know if you saw the interview with Devin Archer and Tucker Carlson, but now that he has come forward, do you think that Hunter Biden or Joe Biden will be held accountable in reference to the business dealings with Ukraine?
No. I don't think they can be held accountable. The reason being, you know, I also interviewed a guy whose name is Andrei Telezhenko. Andrei Telezhenko he worked for the U.S. Embassy. He also was the assistant to Victor Shokin. That was the prosecutor general, the equivalent to our attorney general, that Joe Biden got fired. He worked with him. He worked with Blue Star Strategies, which is the deep state company that got Hunter Biden in there. This guy was in the middle of all of it. And basically what he said was, yeah, that's intelligence stuff. That basically, I mean, think about this. So Hunter Biden goes on the board of Burisma. Who was on there with him? And does this sound conspicuous? There were a couple of other people on the board. One of them was Cofer Black, former director of counterintelligence for the CIA. What the heck is a CIA guy doing on the board of Burisma? The other guy was the former prime minister or president, whatever it is, of Poland. So Burisma comes in, you know, basically the U.S. overthrows the government, and now you got all of these creeps coming in there, filling their pockets. But Hunter Biden was also instrumental in funneling money to these 46 bio research labs. Hunter Biden was involved in getting the money there too. So Hunter Biden, I'll put it like this. If there was a stream of corruption going through, Hunter Biden was just reaching over every now with his glass, getting a glass of it and drinking his fair share. That's all it was. So can they go after Biden? What were Pelosi's kids doing there? What was, what's his name? Mitt Romney's kids doing there? They were all in there. They basically, it's almost like somebody on the street like knocked an old lady over and everybody came around and started stealing her wallet and her jewelry. And once they overthrew this country over, they all came in and they just picked the bones of it like vultures. But the intelligence community was deeply involved in it. So they can never really touch Hunter Biden and Joe Biden for this.
Crazy. This is crazy, crazy stuff. Another thing I want to bring up, and I'll talk about the story later on tonight, but in reference to Gavin Newsom and Joe Biden. So I saw that there's going to be a debate between Ron DeSantis and Gavin Newsom. I know we talked about Gavin Newsom earlier on your radio show, and it does appear that there is some type of shadow campaign that is happening with Gavin Newsom. Otherwise, I don't know why he would agree to doing this debate. Do you feel that the Democratic Party, because of the information that has been released about Hunter Biden and now Joe Biden and Joe Biden's cognitive of ability, do you feel that that is why they are leaning more towards or trying to maybe swoop in someone like Gavin Newsom, because they're afraid the more information that is revealed, it's going to be bad for Joe Biden and Trump could win again?
Yeah, I think you're right about all of those things, that there are a confluence of issues. Number one, Joe's obvious cognitive decline. I mean, at this point, who could Joe debate? You know, so, I mean, you know, he can get away with the DNC and not debating RFK Jr. or Marianne Williamson or whoever. He can get away with that because he runs the operation. But at some point, he's going to have to debate someone, and he can't do it. So I've said for a while, as I saw him slipping and falling every other day, you know, getting confused, walking right out in the middle of, you know, he's being interviewed and he just gets up and walks out of the interview. I saw all of these things. I'm like, they ain't running that guy because they can't. They're hiding him right now. And let's face it, Kamala Harris is not an option. So I'm reading that. Here's an article right here. Gavin Newsom looks like he is running for president. Here's another one. Ron DeSantis accepts Gavin Newsom's challenge to debate on Fox News. And here's a key one. After Kamala bowed out, Gavin Newsom steps into DeSantis debate. In other words, Kamala ain't going to be the answer. It's going. They know they can't run Kamala. They understand what they have with her. But she's a black Sarah Palin, in my opinion. She's Sarah Palin. She's the Democrats' equivalent of Sarah Palin, right? And so now it certainly appears as though many of us have thought for a while, who are they going to get? They're going to get Gavin Newsom. They're going to stick him in there, and they're going to, if somebody challenges them too closely, they'll just steal it, and there's their guy, Gavin Newsom. It looks pretty obvious to me. I mean, what do you think?
I agree. He's also, did you know he's related to Nancy Pelosi?
Wouldn't surprise me. You know, a quick story about Nancy Pelosi. You know, she's from Baltimore.
Yep.
And her father was Tommy D'Alessandro. He was the mayor of Baltimore. Tommy D'Alessandro ran for governor, but he had to stop. He had to drop out. Anybody can look this up. It's online. He had to drop out because of his connections to the mafia. And let me go one further. I had a client, and they named the guy who was his business partner, who had so he had a business partner, a close partner. This guy had ties to organized crime. You know what that means. And so, needless to say, when they started snooping around, asking a few too many questions, D'Alessandro had to drop out, right? The guy who was his business partner eventually died, right? That guy's wife was one of my clients at one point. She was a client. I'm not going to say anything about that. I'm just saying the wife of D'Alessandro, I used to go to her house, the wife of D'Alessandro's, which is Pelosi's father's, his let's just say he was alleged to be involved in organized crime, and he might have spent some time in jail here or there. That guy had passed away, but his wife was actually one of my clients, and I talked to her. I ain't say anything, just saying I talked to her at some points. So wow. I know about it. Yeah, so most people don't know that there are those who, let's just say, suspect that Pelosi's father was a mob figure. There are a lot of people that suspect that. Enough people that he had to drop out when he was running for governor. So that tells you something about Nancy Pelosi. I'm just saying, it's in the blood.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy.